We're live. Hello, podcast listening people. Brings me great sadness to share with you that this is my last live stream. Let's go. Hello, my friends. Thank you for giving me a watch. I appreciate you. If this is the first time you've ever seen me, make sure you follow me for further content. But I don't know if it's going to matter. It brings me sadness to share with you that this is my last live stream of 2021. And we're ready to get into 2022 with a bang and a lot of good stuff going on, a lot of exciting stuff going on this year. And I'm excited to go into this journey with all of you. Some of you have been following me for years. Some of you may have just found me yesterday. But I am Connor Doobie, the host of the B2B Mentors podcast, founder of B2B Mentors, and director of sales and marketing at Active Blogs. And a couple of things, little recap. I want to know, what are your plans going into next year? What are you going to be focused on? What are you not going to be focused on? What are you going to eliminate? What are you going to add? Is there a big goal that you did not reach this year that maybe you're going to tackle on this year? Is it more focused around your sales, your marketing, your operations, your business? First off, I want to start off with saying my heart goes out to everybody in Colorado who lost their homes last night. I don't know if any of you had seen. I know I have a lot of connections in Colorado, being a Coloradoan myself, and in Superior, Boulder, over 700 buildings. I think that's a tally that they have so far. Over 700 buildings were burned. I'm not sure how the fire started, not sure what the deal behind that is, but definitely a loss and definitely a rough way to go into your new year. So sending love, sending energy. If there's anybody watching this who's connected with family, friends, you name it, who need any support, need any resources, never hesitate to reach out to me. Happy to help or see what I can do to support you guys. With that said, what are the plans for 2022? And what's kind of been a bit of a reflection over this past year? I launched B2B Mentors. This is my second podcast. I launched B2B Mentors over a year and a half ago, back right when the pandemic started. And, the thing that's been interesting is I used to think this podcast could only be ran by guests. And then I started realizing, I'm already doing all this content, already doing all these videos. So I decided to start this solo show. And that's been a blast so far, getting to jump in here, just share my thoughts. I've called it Connor's Curiosities, just thoughts on business, sales, marketing. And so as it relates to that, over this last year, this year's been a big, big growing and learning year, as every year seems to be. I just always try to push myself to do that next thing, to go to that next meeting, to meet that next person. I've never really enjoyed the wins as much as I hate the losses. And so I always am optimizing myself around how can I continue to progress towards big wins, which are nice and great, but how do I mitigate and avoid the losses and the struggles? And the challenges are always going to come, but how do I avoid making the same mistakes twice? Right. And I think reflecting on that is always important, not just once a year, but once a week, once a day, even, or, monthly. So, going into this next year, 2022, and the things that have really worked this past year, number one, further and faster with partners. Partnerships have been a profound shift in our own business. And I am adamant that I don't think enough business leaders are leveraging partnerships the right way. They're not using partners to grow, and they're more worried about competition versus collaboration. Many of our competitors that are perceived competitors, I've approached this last year, built relationships with, and come to find out, who would have thought? Us, them, everyone has their own unique way to go about business, to do sales, to do marketing, to do promotion, to do processes. And so partners have been huge this year in terms of referrals, in terms of mentorship, on both ends, and being able to do more for our clients better, faster, more efficient, and more cost effective. So partnerships have definitely been a big, big emphasis of last year, not just going out to people and saying, hey, do you want to build referrals, but, working in relationships that are mutually profitable and beneficial for both parties, and treating it as you are on the same team, constantly revisiting your goals together and putting structures in place to make partnerships work and to make partnerships fruitful. The number two thing, as I was thinking about jumping in here live, is eliminating and simplifying. So versus what are the things that I can really add this past year? What do I need to add into our marketing? What I've really looked at is, what do I need to eliminate? Not only just the technology, the tools, processes that aren't working, but also people in my life, people that are negative, people that are naysayers, and people that just aren't adding benefit to my ultimate goals and our business's ultimate goals and the goals of our employees, right? So ask yourself this, is that something you've thought about too going in this year? Is not really like, okay, what can I add? We're always in this fast-paced world we live in. We're always so worried about the things that we can add into our life. And it's really not about what you can constantly add and just stack on. I've written articles earlier this year that covered the, myriad, like tens of thousands of different marketing technology tools, all the things that you can add into your marketing stack. And I started going to my marketing mentors, started asking CMOs, I'm like, in reality, like, how many tools, you're super successful, how many tools are you actually using in your marketing? And it's 5, 6, very, very minimal. And so that process of simplifying, I think, as the world gets more complex, gets more noisy, gets more distracted, it's that much more important in what the hell can we eliminate? What the hell can we cut versus include or add? Number 3, delegating more. How do I find great people that I can start getting the impact, right? The revenue impact tasks that I should be focused on that are directed towards other areas that aren't as immediately impact driving or revenue driving, right? How can I delegate more? And that's hard to do when you're so close to what you do. You're so close to your processes. You're so close to your business, to your marketing, is being able to delegate that out to people more, trust people, and spend the amount of time to train, right? Training's been a big part as well. And something that I definitely need to improve on going into 2022 is constant training of the little details, the things that I have up here, but I need to get out to other people so that I can focus my attention on the bigger picture, right? I shouldn't be sitting down, writing and creating and coming up with all of the content for our company. I should rely on my team to have the education, the know-how, the strategy, and the tenacity to be able to do that and do the production on it. Maybe you can do that too. Maybe this year it's about getting some of those tasks that are very time intensive and they're very important and they're very valuable, but they need to be delegated, whether it's an agency, whether it's a partnership, or maybe it's a new hire that you need to bring in. If you need to cut your salary in half, for example, is that really going to happen to hire a new employee? Is that really cutting it in half, or is it really adding more time back into your business so that you can continue to grow? Number, what was this, 4? Number 4, more equals more. 4 more equals more. Every time I get into slumps or I'd have an issue going on or a challenge, and I maybe wasn't putting as much content out as I should have, or I wasn't sending as many emails out as I should have, or I wasn't reaching out to more influencers and mentors and building relationships. The less I did that, the lessened the results were. The more I started doing that, right? Like I forgot how much I enjoy doing this show daily because there's so much going on, travel, yada, yada, all the excuses in the world that everyone else has, right? And I realized, whoa, okay, I've got leads flowing through all of a sudden, like a lot more. There's been a significant uptick, more eyeballs, more engagement, more interest in what we're doing. More equals more. That doesn't mean more crap, like you're just vomiting out more materials. You're just spamming the web with random ass blog posts that you find on the internet that are maybe relevant to your industry, but more of you, more of your company's personality, your thought leaders, the experts on your team. The more you put yourself out there in this world and help to break through the noise, the more opportunities you're going to have. It's not even about, okay, I know who my prospects are. Actually, I'm going to save this for the last kind of mark here. But what are your thoughts on that? People really struggle. I think 2022 is going to be the year about consistency over perfection. Seeing too many marketers who are so stuck in perfection paralysis and spending way too long on a single white paper or single piece of content or a single video. And by the time it takes them to get that out there, your competition, others in the market who have the attention of your audience are already getting 5, 6, 10, 15 touch points with your audience. So think in terms of consistency versus perfection. Yeah, you don't want to be putting shit out there, but also you don't want to be going weeks, days, months without constantly communicating with your email list, your social media connections, your followers, your clients, other influencers and mentors in your market, which brings me to my next point of the big epiphany of 2021. This is not my original thought. This is from a mentor of mine who's a 9-figure entrepreneur, owns 72 different businesses. It's not about what you know. I mean, what you know is important, right? But you can know everything in the world and it doesn't matter. It's not about what you know, and it's not about who you know. I can know who my prospects are. I can know who my clients are. I can know who my competition is, and I can also know who mentors for myself might be. But if they don't know me, then it doesn't matter. So it's not about what you know or who you know, but who knows you. I have put over 5 figures, right, in of my own personal dollars into getting influencers, celebrities, well-known people to know me this year. I've invested in myself, invested in mentors, invested in events, invested into advertising, right? I've even taken money out of my own pocket just to test stuff to get my face and to get known by the right people. And that is significantly elevated growth, sales, and future opportunities going into next year and many, many years to come. So think to yourself, how can I get the right people to know me? Because it doesn't matter how smart I am. It doesn't matter how many people I claim to know, but who really at the end of the day knows me? Speaking of that too, guys, next Thursday, those who just jumped in, by the way, it's not my very last live stream. It's my last live stream of 2021. And it's kind of sad. I just can't believe how quickly this year flew by. And I'm so excited for 2022, which is why we're going to kick it off with a bang. So next Thursday, we are doing a free B2B marketing mastermind. Hit the link in this post to attend. We're going to bring in some top CMOs, marketing experts, directors, you name it. And we're going to mastermind on our 2022 marketing plans together. You can get feedback. You can ask your most pressing questions and solve those little roadblocks, those little hiccups, the thorn in your side of like, this does not look right. Get that resolved this next year by starting in the first week by attending this activeblogs.com/live event, activeblogs.com/live event. I am so grateful for each and every one of you, those of you that have contributed to this podcast, to promotion, to the referrals, the introductions over to me, the business pitches, the people who've tried to sell me stuff. Like, I love it. I love the connections. I love connecting with you. And I promise you, going into this next year, you are going to continue to see me show up for you. And if there's anything that I can do for you, DM me, message me. I'm happy to make connections because, again, it's really about who knows you. And that starts with connections and relationships. All right, my friends, have a very fun and safe and healthy new year. If you're relaxing this weekend, relax. Take the time, chill out. If you're working, then work through it, man. I will be I'm going to be focused. I don't like to wait until the first week of the year to hit it hard. I'm already doing that throughout this week and throughout this weekend, last couple weeks. So whatever you're going to do, go all in, give it 110%. Again, DM me anything I can do to help you, support you as much as you have done for me this past year. So grateful for you. Much love. Make it great. And I'll see you next year.
Yeah.